Nah, so I come out to calculate. So I just use the space here. No, because already, because again, I said once they create the corporation, yeah, they had the old group, and like those that went down under, and they became debt, and then eventually they became like a population that still existed, like a residue. That's how they again, it's like you get rid of old inventory into like new groups. What's up? And the new groups, so we use the methods into what they had done. You had to go off and compete, which is to like a cheat. Yeah, because they didn't play fair by the rules. I don't know. They were all cheating on the special up, and then eventually it was just a generational thing on the special up. Yeah, but at the same time, they didn't mature up to go off and learn that there will always be a wall somewhere that they did not bypass on the special. That's why it's like the state. That's another competitor and an eater that does not eat them, especially that eat others within other territory that are just like them. Because when they're here, if in that space itself, they're limited into how far they can go off and see things on the special. So they don't see the things and they'll know the other state or the territory on the special. So all they get to see is just like that parameter. That's why to their own space. They don't realize that they themselves are not unique as a group, into more often, especially as human beings. There's others like them. Yeah, into like multiple different nations and multiple different cities that go off and replicate and copy them on the special. And then from there you don't even have to go off and be around them to go off and learn what they do special. You could just learn it from the others. Yeah, into like their stories with the weekend security stick into what they're doing on the special, because the individuals that participate in certain things that's way to the edge of the world itself or that. In the other states where I like the innovators and leaders that go off for like somewhat survive by continuously waging warfare against their own government. So they're already comfortable. They're already comfortable with fighting their own government, while at the same time their own government is fighting my government on the special. And then my governments get to like dominate because of the fact that they have this technology that's like somewhat protected due to like the industry that they run and operate that's not been under stress or like warfare continuously over a certain strain. So they obtain that peace within that space on that territory itself that allow them to evolve over time and be able to build these mean machines that go off and like be stealthy and fast. I also have the budget. Yeah, that's the budget, which is not even the money. Also, the people that want to go off and work with this project itself, that will go off and put their heart into it and participate into the event and like contribute their life or like their time or the years, yeah, inside this project and this decade, or like going out to like build rockets, the system on, especially. So yeah, so I didn't ask to be inside a territory where like I have plenty of like crazy people that decide to go off and like participate into a machine system that you call Tesla, to be able to somewhat push into like theories of like reusing rockets and making them land back into a space. Back then they just used to be like, well, we didn't have the technology and the computer space and like the resource to like go off like take back piece of the equipment around the space. Just go off and take something that's big and toss it around the space. We have plenty of resources. We have plenty of things to go off and like waste around the space. And then all of a sudden they got hit with it and they're like, yeah, we got to go off and find a way. There's a reusable theory around the space. And then boom, they found plenty of people to go off and work on this project. And like next thing you know, yeah, you have a rocket coming back from space, coming back accurately landing right back into the spot that it launched from. That's all. And then we treat somewhere that create a new potential, a new civilization, a new system, a new economy, a new machine system, and new things around the space. And eventually that comes back into my industry. That redesign my machines, my space station, my military, everything across the space, the government, all across the space until you get the next update on the space. Very few civilizations could have access to that because apparently they didn't get involved in warfare, self-destruction, and things that's way to like resource scarcity around the space. They're somewhat stabilized, and they eventually keep that stability going, and they build on top of it, and the next stability into morphing space. The last instability that I had inside the United States was a civil war into morphing space, and everything got kept on the ground, silent around the space. All instabilities happen across other groups that went crazy, based on different things that's way to like human nature as a predator that went out to like go off and inflict pain and revenge on the other specific. So I said, yeah. So I said by the end of the day, my base area got to be maintained and evolve over time. And apparently the machine is just too quick and too fast and too intelligent and too cunning on the special. So it's somewhere they cannot supersede my special, but at the same time the others that's evolving, the things around the special. No, because again, I know the military strategy and what they try to do into my things, especially into certain things around the special. I stay quiet about it into my things, especially because I get many false flags and then I get many confusion around the special. Things that get done, they don't tell other people what's being done, especially on top, because they try to keep it a secret and try to use it as an opportunity for a chance around the special. So you don't see many news feeds that seem like you support the Islamic State. Again, I don't talk about the metamorphing specific. Navigate around. Those that know what it's about, metamorphing specific, we know what it's about, metamorphing specific, but I navigate around certain things from on the specific. So I said that by the end of the day, Yeah. I said by the end of the day, it's I said by the end of the day, it is what it is. And I said other idiots that are not supposed to be in my line over here. I said I wish they were not in my line because they're causing a whole bunch of confusion around the special, and they're annoying to me because I'm not part of the military itself or something. I'm just a corporate man over here that's currently buying time. So I go off and tend my base at my workshop and then go off and put people in their place inside the coffin over here by just going out to like design things around the special. I tell you, the minute I get my own space where that's my race where the entire 5 years that entire thing built up inside of me or something, I finally get to release my kung fu properly inside my own space where, and that's a death for you into my offense specially. I tell you, I'm all about it specially. I'm the real deal into my offense specially and stuff. But I tell you, the minute I get my workshop on my privacy, any opportunity that's way to like being private, that one moment into my offense specially, I'm gonna be writing death notes, like just your death, non-stop into a piece of paper. That's gonna be a formula over and over and over again. And by the time I publish it silently over the line, I publish these pages silently over the line under the electromagnetic spectrum over here. That's close to the speed of light, because there's friction inside that system itself, so it's not as close at the speed of light with a vacuum. There's no friction involved. So somewhere when so somewhere where I get to release a large amount of pages and informations and other things around that signal itself or something, that's the death of you. I get to like non-stop I get to like pulverize you over and over and over again. Not to a big thing on the special, but to a small tiny thing that's like molecular that go off and deliver pages all around the world special something, and that'll be the death for you. For the level of disrespect you put into my name or something, I get to crush you within the next 10 years and make you think about money over and over again. Because I said again, you have to understand that I'm the one over here that's in my 30s, heading off to 40. What's up? And you over there, you're long past that into morphing specially. And by the time you were my age, you had all. By the time you were married, you had all the opportunity to go off and do what I'm doing, especially to go off and make the amount of money that I'm about to go off and make. Especially the reason why I didn't make it, when I was 32 or 33, is because of the fact that I had a competitor that was my own government that I had to go off and like somewhat fight with and struggle with for like 5 years directly while I'm in my secret, especially. I tried to get my government to go inside a judge of it to explain what is his point into my offense, especially. Why is it causing a burning into my business where I'm wasting my time into my offense, especially. I powered my government through the white flag. Yeah, it went full bitch mode into my offense. I don't accept the blowjob, kind of not gay, but I will accept the blowjob from her over myself. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you could go off and let her talk with like the stench of my semen. Yeah, and your breath, on your nose over myself for breath. To go for like somewhat I don't know, translate that you're sorry into my offense special. I couldn't care less into my offense special, but you get the gist of it into my offense. So I said by the end of the day, my government went full hole into my offense because apparently they didn't put me in the handcuffs to go off and have me in front of a judge because they can't build the argument. Yeah, they degenerates into my offense, so that's a big fat off for retard for them, D for degeneracy. So I said by the end of the day, all I'm going to do especially is to go off and have my training dojo. And the minute that I get to be in there, lights it off, I get to like go to like full cycle mode into my offense especially. And every piece of like kung fu chop that I get to do privately and quietly, it's like my new technique, all that stuff, that's the death of you into my offense especially. And I said by the time I'm like delivering my divine kung fu into my offense, and my eyes are like with that whiteness in there with like the lightning and all that stuff I'm looking up to the sky, not even looking down and stuff like that. Every chopper that comes through itself is lethal and it's deadly, and that's a death to like you and your companies and your corporation and everything you can imagine. I couldn't care less, because you don't know what that's like to try to be put inside of a gas chamber and somebody deny your life. And continuously over time they put a camera in front of you and they broadcast it to the world as they go off and they push that gas, and they almost kill you every damn time. And then you're slowly in there. Yeah, calculating how to get out that situation on the special side and to be able to escape that trap and that gas chamber into my offense especially. Every step that you take is very slow into my offense, and boom, here I am inside the United States. I escaped the trap over there that installed for me to inside the only federal government inside the Asian space area. That it tried to do everything as much as possible as a glitch. We walked me back to Thailand. We walked me back to like Malaysia or like or Singapore. Keep me in the Asian space, try to lure me inside China. So then the Americans could all get the corrupted Asian government to go off and like see if they could gas me to death. Yeah, prevent me from returning back to the U.S. where I could trigger a proper investigation and all that stuff. So I escaped that trap and that gas chamber very slowly into my offense especially. Yeah, that came to me during my sleep while just minding my own business over some fucking white supremacist that want to go off and treat me like trash because of the fact that you assume I'm a child over here that decided to take money and then go off for like skip work. And then he tried to treat me like a bum that's lazy on, especially. It didn't help that he put a jam inside my head. I wanted to use chemical to then force me into that position over here like a dog and break me down psychologically and then make me feel like I'm an old 80-year-old while I'm in my 34, 35 during that time over there. What's up? Now I'm 38 into my offense, especially. I lost time during my youth over there that I could never fucking get back at all. What's up? That could have been spent on like somewhat volumes or like money and numbers that could have been ran, especially. What's up? And I tell you, the minute that I get my base over on top, every chop that I do over there is a little chop to your head over there. I couldn't care less how many civilizations I'm going to destroy, all that shit from on top of myself. I said nobody was there to help me out when I was under that poison around the special. I get to deliver all destructive blows into my offense, especially just from a distance. That's like from a different continent, or the smallest but fastest signal on Earth. That'll be the death for you on your entire security state and civilization. I get to collect money over that. And by the time I'm done with it, my own state is going to protect me because the stuff that I do is legal. It's pretty much like, yeah, what would my state do? They go after the guy over there that's giving a quantum physics lesson of like dead bodies that previously left the page that was already being released. So all he's doing is doing a revisitation of quantum physics. And then he also in the seminar for it, especially. And just have it coincidentally, somebody could go off and use that quantum physics to go off and redo the crystal of like some of these chemicals for like clean supplies on the software on the special. So all of a sudden you're going to label that as dangerous, or you're going to try to like censor it up. That's stupid into my offense, especially. So I tell you, the minute I get my base into my offense, I get to work right away. Every chop is a little chop to your head of you, and you're dead pretty much.